have your hat. I've lost your power. We are alive! We live!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Random Fun. I'm your host, RavenWood, and give me a second.
And I'm your other host,
I'm
Dominic Rex.
Welcome back to the RavenWood Reads.
Today we are here to read Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park, the Special Collection. It contains 2 books, Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park The Lost World. Today we are only focusing on Jurassic Park. We will get the Lost World later. It will not be anytime soon because of a certain someone's schedule, but it will be soon, I promise you. Anyways, you're probably wondering, Dominic, Ravenwood, why do the 2 of you look so worn out? Well, that's because our cousin got married today.
Yeah.
Huge shout outs to our cousin. You know, he's been there for us since we were itty bitty things.
I sure
And now
changed into a different shirt.
he's now a man, and he's got a woman in his life. And we're tired because we pushed ourselves to the absolute limits. Socializing.
Yeah, but for tonight, we're only going to read only one chapter. I have a sinus issue.
Yes, sinus issue.
Oddly enough, right when I started the stream, all of a sudden my sinuses decided to start behaving.
Yeah.
For the most part.
It's the camera. Your sinuses react to the camera. They know to smile. Anyways.
Okay.
So tonight, tonight will be a relatively shorter stream than usual because
we're tired.
I'm exhausted from socializing. He's exhausted and his sinuses are acting up.
And I also got a haircut, by the way.
Yes.
Not
today,
but I got it.
I too got a haircut recently.
Yeah, but you like.
Mine was more like 4 days ago. Yours was more recent. And Luna is in the background somewhere.
Yeah, but yours is also.
She'll reappear on stream eventually. Luna, stop messing with the boxes.
Oh, we also heard about the new Resident Evil movie.
Oh yes, we saw the trailer for that.
There are some concerns about it.
No. That will be its own separate video.
I know, but I just wanted to talk about the trailer.
Stuff to look forward to. We will review the trailer in a separate episode. Please.
Probably.
All right.
Well, I just want to cover some of the one issue that I have with the trailer. Probably might be explained in the movie. Resident Evil.
Nothing for the video.
Resident Evil 3 and 2 happened during a heat wave.
Yeah.
So how did the snow get out of nowhere?
How did the snow get there?
I'm assuming that Raccoon City is such a large city, and it's practically a county. No, it's practically 2 counties. They got Raccoon City left side and Raccoon City is the right side.
Raccoon City
is a metropolis.
It is pretty much a fictional city, so I imagine they can do whatever they want.
In the first game, the manor was technically a part of Raccoon City.
Yes, but it was also up in the mountains.
Yeah, I know that.
So that means there are mountains in Raccoon City.
I know that. But it was in the middle of the heat wave in November. And what's interesting is that
there's a mountain range included in Raccoon City. Okay, you may be onto something with how big Raccoon City is, because
I don't know anything about a mountain range.
Well, the mansion is in the mountains.
I thought it was in the woods.
It's in the mountains in the woods.
I think But then there's also snow in the city. So unless Raccoon City has like two cities or
Okay.
two different areas in the same city.
Someone in the comments, let us know more about Resident Evil lore down below,
I'm
and explain to us how it makes sense, or if it's just.
I'm assuming that there's Raccoon City North, East, South, and West, and they have their own separate weathers.
Just remember, this was only the trailer, okay? Any official stuff, like, they still have to go through the editing process and final touches and adjustment. So, for all we know, that snow could be edited out before it hits theaters.
Yeah.
So that complaint may soon become a thing of the past. The fans who saw the trailer, we will remember your mistakes. Mistakes, Sony.
I have some issues, like it's not taking place during the event.
Yes,
well, I mean, it's taking place during the events, but it's not any of them. It's not the main story.
We will get there. We will get there in our episode covering that.
Or
for now,
when we will.
This is RavenWood Reads. Let us read.
Yeah. If there's any books of Resident Evil, please let us know so we might read a Resident Evil book.
There are Resident Evil books. I've actually seen them. So there's also game guides and whatnot. But
my silly theory. This one doesn't make any sense because it's shown that it's clearly
save it for the episode.
Trust me, I want to say this out now. My crazy theory that it's after the nuke, and you know how ashes.
Nuclear winter. Yes.
No.
No, I'm saying a nuclear winter is usually what happens after a bomb hits. It causes snow.
No, I don't think that's right.
A nuclear fallout.
No, anyways. Just start reading. Just start reading. I'll Google that.
Our next chapter, well, this is the chapter we left off on in the last session. We've been so busy with other things that we took a bit of a break from RavenWood Reads. But now we are back, and we are here to continue Big Rex.
No, see, nuclear winter is a hypnotized, catastrophic global climate phenomenon where massive smoke and soot from nuclear firestorms block sunlight for years. Sorry.
All right.
Causing sub-freezing surface temperatures and darkness. It could lead to mass starvation, environmental destruction, and potentially threaten human civilization with temperature drops to 35 degrees and 63 degrees Fahrenheit.
So, in other words, it could snow as a result of a bomb hitting the city.
Problem is that there were just like missiles, not like dropping an atomic bomb.
Yes, but I mean, well, what do you think a missile is?
Yeah, but it's not an atomic bomb.
They literally said they were dropping a bomb on the city. You need a nuke in order to decimate an entire city.
Well, no.
And for one thing, notice that in the trailer it was completely pitch black, which means we saw no sunlight. It was just dark.
It was happening.
And there were zombies everywhere. It
was happening at night.
It was happening at night. Yes.
Just start reading.
All right. Well, see this is why I said we should save this for the Resident Evil episode.
I'm just really.
Well, save that for that episode. Don't bring it into this because now I'm gonna want to get into conspiracy theories and whatnot. I need a water. My throat's bothering me. We haven't even started reading yet.
Thermobaric bomb, a high intensity fueled air explosive rather than a traditional nuclear warhead.
But ultimately, it was nuked. So
yes, but however, it's not the same traditional type of bomb. Meaning, let's look.
Of course, it's not. Your standard type of bomb.
Would it?
It's a fake bomb for a
Oh.
fake city.
I don't know. Hold on. I want to know something. Oh, just read the Big Rex. Read the Big Rex. I'm going to Google this.
I'm
research.
taking a water break. You got me shouting at the top of my exhausted voice. And Luna's staring at me right now, wondering what the heck.
Thermobaric bomb.
Okay, bye, Luna. All right.
Cause a.
Let's begin with the Big Rex, shall we?
Ah, I see. Are unlikely to cause a nuclear winter. While they can create massive explosions by using air as an oxidizer, nuclear winter requires the sustained burning of countless cities and industrial zones to loft massive amounts of soot into the stratosphere. But this is just
keyword there, unlikely, not impossible.
You know what? I'm gonna nuke the real Raccoon City. Just prove that. I just joking. We shouldn't nuke the city. Not really.
How much TNT would that take?
We should only for science.
Only for science. We should just go on over to the White House, ask President Trump if we could get enough TNT to perform a scientific experiment involving the mass destruction of our city that is worth thousands of dollars in property damage that's probably going to come out of our own wallets.
Wait.
I will never financially recover
How
from
many
that.
nukes would it take to trigger a nuclear winter? Okay, regional conflict, 100 plus nukes. So, no, one nuke cannot cause a nuclear winter. Two nukes in Japan will not cause a nuclear winter.
It's a fictional nuke for a fictional
No, it's not a fictional nuke. It's a real nuke. Let me you know what? Let's look up if it's a real nuke.
You'll see, you're looking it up on Google with AI influence. You're not looking at the actual source material.
No.
All right.
I know that, but like it helps. It helps with shorten our questions here. Big Rex.
Big Rex. The mighty tyrannosaurs rose late in dinosaur history. Dinosaurs ruled the earth for 120 million years, but there were tyrannosaurs for only the last 15 million years of that period. The land cruisers had stopped at the rise of a hill. They overlooked the forested area sloping down to the edge of the lagoon. The sun was falling to the west, sinking into a misty horizon. The whole landscape of Jurassic Park
was
bathed in soft light. What?
It's a real bomb.
Okay.
It's not a nuke. That's the thing is that there's the difference. It's not a nuke. It's a bomb. So it's not really possible.
With lengthening shadows, the surface of the lagoon rippled in pink crescents. Well, funny enough, it says unlikely, not impossible. So it could have happened.
No, I don't think it's possible. Okay, so the answer is
well, it's not your movie, so.
I know that, but like still, no, they would have to.
The surface of the lagoon rippled in pink crescents. Farther south, they saw the graceful necks of the chimerosaurs standing at the water's edge, their bodies mirrored in the moving surface. Now, funny here, the chimerosaurs were never in the movie, but they did appear in the in later games like Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, which was a park builder simulator and in the infamous Jurassic World Evolution. It was quiet, except for the soft drone of cicadas. As they stared out at that landscape, it was possible to believe that they had really been transported millions of years back in time to a vanished world. It works, doesn't it? They heard Ed Regis say over the intercom. I like to come here sometimes in the evening. Enjoy a seat.
So I thought you were going to say in Ed Regis's voice. I like that body of yours.
Ed Regis dressed up as Captain Ginyu. I like that body of yours, Son Goku. Son Goku be like, "Wait, what do you mean by that? That power you command. Hey, yo, this man a freak.
No, he looks like
Get me out of
he
here.
just looks like Dr. Alan Grant. It's like I like that body of yours.
Dr. Grant's like,
Oh yeah, by the way, he beat
Get me out.
cancer, blood cancer. I think it was blood cancer, but anyways, he beat cancer, and now he can go back to acting. He's
Yes.
going to make another film.
Yeah, Sam Neill is back. Well, Sam Neill was already on the works for another film. He's going to be appearing in Godzilla X Kong Supernova. He's taking a break from the world of Jurassic Park and he's taking a crack at kaiju films.
He wanted to announce. Well, I think he was more like taking the. He's more taking a more of a comfort role, and instead of like an in-action role or something, or maybe he just kept it a secret for years or whatever. But regardless, so like I haven't seen him. When was it was like he's been fighting blood cancer or this cancer for 5 years. So when was his last film?
Probably Dominion.
Oh, so he kept it. Wow. Okay. Continue. No, that's important. Like Dr. Grant, not the Dr. Alan Grant, the actor for Dr. Alan Grant.
Sam Neill.
Yeah, Sam Neill. He beat cancer.
Yes. Grant was unimpressed. Where is the T-Rex? Good question. You often see the little one down in the lagoon. The lagoon stopped, so we have fish in there. The little one has learned to catch the fish. Interesting how he does it. He doesn't use his hands, but he ducks his whole head under the water like a bird.
No. His previous film was Bring Him to Me. Bring Him to Me, which was a.
Oh, I must have missed that one. Well, anyways, it's interesting how they keep addressing the dinosaurs as he, the Rexes in particular, as he or males, when they're all supposed to be females. I think, like,
So why
even
did he say
though
that it's time to go back to film? Oh, to get time to go back to another movie. It might sound like he wasn't in a film.
Godzilla X Kong Supernova, he was recruited to be one of, if not possibly the main lead of that film. I don't know exactly what the details are, but according to sources, starring in that film. Also, Luna's on. Come here. Come here, Luna. Hey, come here. Come here. Get off. Get off. Get off the table. Get off the table. Luna. Luna. Luna, get off the table. Come on. Thank you. Okay.
Why did it type Sam Neill beating and then it said beating his wife? So that's odd. Anyways, continue reading.
The little one? The little T-Rex. He's a juvenile, 2 years old, and about a third grown now. Stands 8 feet high, weighs a ton and a half. The other one's a full-grown tyrannosaur, but I don't see him at the moment. Maybe he's hunting down the Camarasaurs, Grant said.
Oh, okay.
Reed just laughed, his voice tinny over the radio. He would if he could, believe me. Sometimes he stands by the lagoon and stares at those animals and wiggles those little forearms of his in frustration. But the T-Rex territory is completely enclosed with trenches and fences. They're disguised from view, but believe me, he can't go anywhere.
So
And where is he?
it says here, it's time I did another movie. It made it sound like he hasn't been doing movies for a while, but I'm assuming these films were more his comfort zone, where he doesn't have to do much. But anyways,
It's time for him to jump back into a kaiju film.
Yeah, he was diagnosed in 2022 with a rare T-virus. With a rare T-cell lymphoma, a rare aggressive type of non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
You are definitely not reading that correctly.
I'm not reading it correctly. But so screw it. I don't want to read a blood virus or blood cancer.
I imagine this was probably around the same time the COVID stuff happened.
Well,
2022. So that's like roughly 2 years after the COVID stuff.
C-A-R-T, spacebar T, cell therapy. He began a new experimental therapy with it.
Reed just said, he's a little shy. Shy, Malcolm said. Tyrannosaurus Rex is shy. Well, he conceals himself as a general rule. You almost never see him out in the open, especially in the daylight. Why is that? We think it's because he has sensitive skin and sunburns easily. Malcolm began to laugh. Grant sighed. You're destroying a lot of illusions. I don't think you'll be disappointed, Reed just said. Just wait. They heard the soft bleeding sound. In the center of the field, a small cage rose up into view. Lifted on hydraulics from underground, the cage bar slid down, and the goat remained tethered in the center of the field, bleeding plaintively. Any minute now, Regis said. They stared out the window. This is Rexy. And for the record, even though they keep addressing them as males in the book, it's worth noting that they did state earlier that all dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are female. The characters just keep referring to them as male, despite what Dr. Wu told them. So they can't even keep their own facts straight.
I think it's more like how you name a car.
You always address your car with female pronouns or your boat.
Even
like,
though
there she blows.
Even though it doesn't have any gender, it's a car.
It's a car. It's a car. Ma.
Anyways, it's a car.
Cue the Dust Cities music. Anyways. Look at them, Hammond said, watching the control room monitor. Leaning out of the windows, so eager. They can't wait to see it. They have come for the danger. That's what I'm afraid of, Muldoon said. He twirled the keys on his finger and watched the Land Cruisers tensely. This was the first time that visitors had toured Jurassic Park, and Muldoon shared Arnold's apprehension. Robert Muldoon was a big man, 50 years old, with a steel gray moustache and deep blue eyes. Raised in Kenya, he had spent most of his life as a guide for African big game hunters, as had his father before him. But since 1980, he had worked principally for conservation groups
Since his father before him
and
sorry,
fuck off.
sorry, like his father and his forefathers. Ah! Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Well, you did. You did.
Okay.
Where was it? Principally for conservation groups and zoo designers as a wildlife consultant. He had become well known. An article in the London Sunday Times had said, "What Robert Trent Jones is to golf courses, Robert Muldoon is to zoos, a designer of unsurpassed knowledge and skill." We never get to see that in the movies. We just get the impression that he's skilled with big game hunting. In 1986, he had done some work for a San Francisco company that was building a private wildlife park on an island in North America.
San Francisco company.
Yep. Muldoon had laid out the boundaries for different animals, defining space and habitat requirements for lions, elephants, zebras, and hippos, identifying which animals could be kept together and which had to be separated. At the time, it had been a fairly routine job. He had been more interested in an Indian park called Tiger World in southern Kashmir. Kashmir! Then, a year ago, he was offered a job as game warden of Jurassic Park. He risked. Okay. It coincided with the desire to leave Africa. The salary was excellent. Muldoon had taken it on for a year. He was astonished to discover the park was really a collection of genetically engineered prehistoric animals. It was, of course, interesting work, but during his years in Africa, Muldoon had developed an unblinking view of animals, an unromantic view that frequently set him at odds with the Jurassic Park management in California, particularly the little Martinet standing beside him in the control room. In Muldoon's opinion, cloning dinosaurs in the laboratory was one thing. Maintaining them in the wild was quite another. It was Muldoon's view that some dinosaurs were too dangerous to be kept in a park setting. In part, the danger existed because they still knew so little about the animals. For example, nobody even suspected that the Dilophosaurs were poisonous until they were observed hunting indigenous rats on the island, biting the rodents, then stepping back to wait for them to Aliawada's connections unstable.
Yeah, give me a fix that.
This was actually
I fixed
explored
it. See?
in
my
Aliawada's his YouTube documentary in animations based on the events that happened in the books. Anyways, and even then, nobody suspected the Dilophosaurs could spit until one of the handlers was almost blinded by spitting venom. After that, Hammond had agreed to study Dilophosaur venom, which was found to contain several different toxic enzymes. It was also discovered that the Dilophosaurs could spit a distance of 50 feet. Since this
Just
break,
50 feet.
50 feet. Yes.
Can't break its own record.
I imagine they could if they tried. Since this raised the possibility that a guest in a car might be blinded, management decided to remove the poison sacs. The vets had tried twice on 2 different animals without success. No one knew where the poison was being secreted, and no one would ever know until an autopsy was performed on a Dilophosaur, and management would not allow one to be killed. Oh,
There we go.
good luck on a necropsy, I guess. Come on, man, you gotta do something about the notifications.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Muldoon worried even more about the velociraptors. They were instinctive hunters. They never passed up prey. They killed even when they weren't hungry. They killed for the pleasure of killing. They were swift, strong hunters and astonishing jumpers. They had lethal claws on all 4 limbs. One swipe of a forearm would disembowel a man, spilling his guts out. And they had powerful tearing jaws that ripped flesh instead of biting it. They were far more intelligent than the other dinosaurs, and they seemed to be natural cage breakers. Every zoo expert knew that certain animals were especially likely to get free from their cages. Some, like monkeys and elephants, could undo cage doors. Others, like wild pigs, were unusually intelligent and could lift gate fasteners with their snoots. But who would suspect that the giant armadillo was a notorious cage breaker, or the moose? Yet a moose was almost as skillful with its snout as an elephant with its trunk. Moose were always getting free. They have a talent for it. Hence why you would always see moose wandering around the cities, because they were always getting free at their enclosures in the zoos. If you were always curious about that, now you know. And so did velociraptors. Raptors were at least as intelligent as chimpanzees, and like chimpanzees, they had agile hands that enabled them to open doors and manipulate objects. They could escape with ease, and when, as Muldoon had feared, one of them finally escaped, it killed 2 construction workers and maimed a third before being recaptured. This was actually another one of those incidents recorded in Ali Al-Bada's analog horror series. After that episode, the visitor lodge had been reworked with heavy barred gates, a high perimeter fence, and tempered glass windows. And the raptor holding pen was rebuilt with electronic sensors to warn of another impending escape. Impending doom! Doom? Doom? Muldoon wanted guns as well, and he wanted shoulder-mounted TOW missile launchers. Hunters knew how difficult it was to bring... Hunters knew how difficult it was to bring down a full-ton African elephant, and some of the dinosaurs weighed 10 times as much. Management was horrified, insisting there be no guns anywhere on the island. When Muldoon threatened
not even a Glock.
When Muldoon threatened to quit and to take his story to the press, a compromise was reached. In the end, two specially built, laser guided I'm tired, man.
Okay.
Two specially built laser-guided missile launchers were kept in a locked room in the basement. Only Muldoon had keys to the room. Those were the keys Muldoon was twirling now. I'm going downstairs, he said. Arnold, watching the control screens, nodded. The two land cruisers sat at the top of the hill, waiting for the T-Rex to appear. Hey, Dennis Nedry called from the far console. As long as you're up, give me a Coke, okay? Grant waited in the car, watching quietly. The bleating of the goat had become louder, more insistent.
Somebody kill me.
The goat tugged frantically at its tether, racing back and forth. No, this is more like someone get me out of here. Bail me out. Anyways, over the radio, Grant heard Lex say in alarm, "What's going to happen to the goat? Is she going to eat the goat?" That's the line from the movie. Say the line, man. I think so, someone said to her, and then Ellie turned the radio down. Then they smelled the odor, a garbage stench of putrefaction and decay that drifted up the hillside toward them. Grant whispered, "He's here." "She," Malcolm said. The goat was tethered in the center of the field, 30 yards from the nearest trees. The dinosaur must be somewhere among the trees, but for a moment Grant could see nothing at all. And then he realized he was looking too low. The animal's head stood 20 feet above the ground, half concealed among the upper branches of the palm trees. Malcolm whispered, "Oh my God. She's in launch of the bloody building." Grant stared at the enormous square head,
Square. I'll be right back.
5 feet long, mottled reddish brown, with huge jaws and fangs. The Tyrannosaur's jaws worked once, opening and closing, but the huge animal did not emerge from hiding. Malcolm whispered, how long will it wait? Maybe 3 or 4 minutes, maybe. The Tyrannosaur sprang silently forward, fully revealing her enormous body. In 4 bounding steps, she covered the distance to the goat, bent down, and bit it through the neck. The bleeding stopped. There was silence. Poised over her kill, the Tyrannosaur became suddenly hesitant. Her massive head turned on the muscular neck. Looking in all directions, she stared fixedly at the land cruiser high above on the hill. Malcolm whispered, "Can she see us?"
Why would a big lizard creature bite something on the neck instead of just going hump?
Because that's how you effectively kill something without risking injury.
Oh, okay.
Remember, these are prehistoric animals. They have no idea what goats and pigs are. They just know that they can kill them. They just don't know if they pose a threat to them. So, a bite on the neck, you kill them easily. You don't risk getting stabbed by the horns. Anyways, Malcolm whispered, "Can she see us?" "Oh, yes," Regis said on the intercom. "Let's see if she's going to eat here in front of us, or if she's going to drag the prey away." The Tyrannosaur bent down and sniffed the carcass of the goat. A bird chirped. Her head snapped up, alert, watchful. She looked back and forth, scanning in small jerking shifts. Like a bird, Ellie said. Still the Tyrannosaur hesitated. What is she afraid of? Malcolm whispered. Probably another Tyrannosaur, Grant whispered. Big carnivores like lions and tigers often become cautious after a kill, behaving as if suddenly exposed. 19th century zoologists imagined the animals felt guilty for what they had done. But contemporary scientists documented the effort behind a kill, hours of patient stalking before the final lunge, as well as the frequency of failure. The idea of nature red in tooth and claw was wrong. Most often the prey got away. When a carnivore finally brought down an animal, it was watchful for another predator who might attack it and steal the prize. Thus, this tyrannosaur was probably fearful of another tyrannosaur. The huge animal bent over the goat again. One great hind limb held the carcass in place as the jaws began to tear the flesh. She's going to stay, Regis whispered. Excellent. The tyrannosaur lifted her head again, ragged chunks of bleeding flesh in her jaws. She stared at the land cruiser. She began to chew. They heard the sickening crunch of bones. Ew, Lex said over the intercom. That's disgusting.
You're disgusting.
And then, as if caution had finally gotten the better of her, the tyrannosaur lifted the remains of the goat in her jaws and carried it silently back among the trees. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyrannosaurus Rex, the tape said. The land cruiser started up and moved silently off through the foliage. Malcolm sat back in his seat. Fantastic, he said. Gennaro wiped his forehead. He looked pale. Next chapter will be control.
I want to see something real quick.
No.
I just want to see something.
No, it's my book.
I know. I just want to see something. Okay.
I just want to talk.
I could probably just read this chapter real quick, probably.
We already promised them,
Yeah, okay, fine. No, I guess next time.
Did not go back on the words.
No, I know that, but it's like I'm just thinking. There's so many chapters called Control.
Okay. It's not chapters.
I know that.
It's a back and forth thing.
Anyways. Well, what we're gonna do?
It's like. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Well, anyways, this is
so
the end here.
Yeah, we'll
I'll be
end
right
this
back. Give me a
chapter here because again we're being relatively short tonight because we're both exhausted. The next episode we will be back in the control room.
And
that has been this episode of RavenWood Reads Michael Crichton's Jurassic
with him
Park.
also reading.
Yes, with me, Dominic Rex, also reading because this is my book and I will not allow him to butcher it. So, if you enjoyed this episode, even though it was short, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Both those options help to let us know if you're enjoying our content and that you want to support our channel and help us get kickstarted and take our channel to new heights. It really does help.
Please subscribe.
Yeah. And make sure you hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you'll get all notifications. Make sure you turn on all notifications. And that way you won't miss a beat here on the Random Fandom with RavenWood and I. And until next time, everyone, Cheers, much love, as always. Tip of the hat, y'all. Make sure you let us know in the comment down below what your thoughts are about Jurassic Park so far, and what you would like to see us tackle next in the future as random fandom for the cover here on the channel.
And for tomorrow, what we will do is we will cover we'll have two streams for tomorrow. One, a mini stream of me covering maybe a mini stream. I don't know. It depends on how long I do it, or if I want to, or if I want to continue it or not. Basically, the next stream is going to be me testing the mic control. But I'll be mostly playing Fortnite for that little bit. I'll be playing Fortnite for that. And then the next stream will be more of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Resident Evil to seeing y'all
So-
then.
So yeah,
And tip of that, y'all.
that maybe we'll discuss more about Resident Evil during his stream. Anyways,
Bye bye.
bye.
Falco. Pa.